All right, everyone. Hello. Olivia Reiner here at Lambeau Field, joined by Tom Silverstein. And we are here to chat Packers with you guys. It is technically the very first day of the regular season.
Yes,
Packers
it is.
getting
If we make
ready.
it without all the flies eating us.
We do have some flies that are descending upon us. They're trying to eat us and attack us, but we will not stand for it.
All right. Anyway,
We're going to survive.
Didn't mean to interrupt.
That's okay. No, it's very real. It's happening. It's okay. But we'll get through this together, Tom.
Okay.
But yes, Packers Bears Thursday night, Soldier Field.
Finally.
Bound to be a lot of excitement. But I feel like before we can even get there, I'm assuming these guys are going to have some questions about the roster. As we all know, cutdowns just happened yesterday officially, and today the Packers were able to sign guys to their practice squad, could start trading some folks and picking up waived guys as well. Deadline was earlier this morning. So yes, some stuff has happened. So before, I'm going to pull up the Facebook comments right now. If you're watching us over on Facebook, hello. We love to have you. We appreciate it. We're also on Periscope and YouTube, so we are all over the place. I say it all the time. I'm very proud of it. But Tom, how did you do with your roster projection this year?
I missed a few guys. I missed Justin McCray. I thought for sure he was going to be on the team, and I don't know how. That was a weird one. I think it came down to them going with Cole Madison because he was a draft pick last year, 5th rounder. I was right about Tim Boyle. I was wrong about Darius Shepard. I thought they'd go with Lazard. Pretty much, there weren't that many big surprises. It was a pretty cut and dried. As I've been saying, Gutekunst took care of most of the big questions during the offseason. Cutting Mike Daniels, cutting Josh Jones, letting Matthews go, Cobb go. Those were his big roster decisions.
Yes, I did okay with my roster projection. I got, I think, 48 or 49 correct.
Oh, nice.
So pretty
nice.
good.
That's
But
pretty
you're
good.
right. There really weren't that many big surprises. The only thing I think I really whiffed on was saying that Ibrahim Campbell was going to be healthy enough to come back and join the Packers on the 53-man roster.
Ready? Okay.
And so he is not. He's on PUP. So that was wrong, and that was pretty big. I did not get Kaiser. I kept him on the 53, but I don't think that was such a shock necessarily.
No.
Yeah.
No, that he got cut, no.
No.
Wide receivers came in about the way I thought. Offensive line came in about the way I thought. Defensive backs, yeah. I mean, I knew it would be 2 out of those 3 backup guys between Sullivan, Redmond, and Jamerson.
Yeah.
And 2 of them did make it. Boy, I don't know what else to say about it. I will say this. I just crunched the numbers on it, and there's 15 players new to the 53-man roster that have never played down for the Packers. That's about a 28% turnover. That's about average for the NFL. I actually thought there would be more because of a new offensive system. You bring in your new players. It's also Gutekunst's second year. He's moved out, I believe, 35, is that right? Something like 35 of the players are his, and the rest are still from Ted Thompson's. 10 of those are starters.
So Spoon had asked during Brian Gutekunst's press conference, he asked Gutekunst about whether or not he felt like the competition in training camp was strong, and was the reason that there was such little turnover and that they were able to sign all of their draft picks or keep all of their draft picks on the 53-man roster. Was that a signal that maybe the competition wasn't as strong? How do you feel about sort of how he reacted, and what was your assessment about the competition, especially considering the fact that, I mean, you said it yourself, Cole Madison, a draft pick, is pretty much on the team in place of Justin McCray. What does that sort of say about the competition and the preferential treatment of draft picks?
I think when they go back and look at the offseason, they'll evaluate it. I think they're going to feel like they didn't do enough, that they didn't create enough competition. Now, Gutekunst, I was hoping he'd be reflective and honest. In the moment, he's probably not going to be. that. Maybe later on in the year he might be a little bit more honest about it. But he said that, well, Tennessee traded for Reggie Gilbert, and they traded McCray to Cleveland, and Kaiser got picked up in Jamerson. So that's 4 guys. Well, McCray, he would have been claimed on a waivers. I just don't think it's that many guys, 4 guys out of all the guys you cut to be picked up. I think it's average. So I do think when they go back and look at it, they will say we could have had more competition.
Mm-hmm. All right, interesting. Something to keep in mind. So speaking of draft picks, so let's see what we got here. Alexander wants to know, will Ty Summers be in the rotation for the game against the Bears? So like we've been discussing for a while, they've been very thin at inside linebacker. They've got Blake Martinez, who is healthy right now. Oren Burks is still out with his chest injury. We're not entirely sure about what the timeline is for that, but my guess is that he will not be ready for week 1. He did not practice today, so
he's not ready.
So he's not ready. But Ty Summers is there. James Crawford was wearing the red no contact jersey today in practice, so I wonder how that's gonna.
We'll find out what's wrong with him tomorrow.
Yes,
for sure. They did not release an injury report today. So for those Ty Summers fans, I don't want to let you down. Sorry, don't want to let you down too much. But even Gutekunst said today the roster changes, and I think he could wind up starting in the base defense, but they could wind up playing the base defense 10 snaps all day. They're going to play Raven Green up there quite a bit. I still say, and I don't know this because they don't let us watch practice, but I'm predicting that they're going to play some sort of a 4-3 against the Bears, and that way they can use Preston Smith outside and Kyler Fackrell outside, and then use Zadarius Smith as kind of an end. So that way they don't have to have 2 inside linebackers. So I kind of think that's the way they're going to go. Summers is there in case they have some real injuries.
Right, so you're seeing the rest of the inside linebacker depth as what it is, not necessarily as Blake Martinez's partner on the field.
Not really. I don't see it that way. Burks, as soon as Burks comes back, then he'll move in, and then they'll be able to play more 2 inside linebacker.
Cool. All right.
Scheme.
So let's see what we got. We've got lots of you guys in here. Got some good questions. Jim is asserting that the Packers still need a running back. How do you feel about what the Packers have right now in the running backs room, with Dexter Williams making the team, Trey Carson on the practice squad, and now also the addition of a fullback, Danny Vitale, as well?
They're good now. I don't know what injuries, Aaron Jones has to stay healthy, Jamal Williams has to stay healthy. I like Dexter Williams. I think he's going to be pretty good, but it's going to take a little while. I do think they should explore Melvin Gordon as to whether they could acquire him. I just can't imagine them trading a high draft pick. I think he values those too much, and they'd have to get some kind of Javion Clowney discounts like Seattle did in order to pull that off. And I don't think it's at that point right now where San Diego's ready to give him on a fire sale, but I think they should keep in that conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think it would be interesting to see if they can find a veteran in the future, and good for them that they were able to keep Trey Carson on the practice squad for sure.
Yep.
Coolio, let's see. I'm getting some raindrops out here, so we might have to make this a bit abbreviated. Let's see.
We can handle it.
Buddy wants to know, any chance Hoyer gets picked up? I saw a report that he was going, I don't know if it was a workout or what, in Indianapolis.
Yeah, there's about 6 teams who are interested in him. He's not coming to Green Bay. There will be too much money out there for him in other places.
Do you think that the Packers need to go out and consider a veteran quarterback? Is there anyone on the market that might be appealing to this offense?
Not to me. Not to me. I mean, I don't know if Oakland's going to keep 4 quarterbacks now that they picked up Kaiser. Nathan Peterman. I just think you've got a young guy. He's got some talent. He's not proven, but this is where you're at. And you're not going to win very much if you don't have Aaron Rodgers anyways. So that needed to be done in the offseason. If you were going to go with a veteran, you needed to do that in the offseason, and they didn't.
Mm-hmm. So we'll move into some news for today. So Kevin King returned to practice, which was big for him. Not entirely sure what the extent of his practice abilities were.
Right.
He said he was able to cut it loose a little bit in the locker room today, so I don't know if that means he was fully out there and hitting whatnot.
He could be sandbagging us too.
Sure.
He could have done everything and he's fine, or he could have done nothing.
Right.
So.
We only get to see so much. So those are his words.
Mm-hmm.
But we have some people in here asking about Kevin King. Lexi wants to know, if King gets hurt again, do you cut your loss and move on, or are they doing the right thing by being patient and letting him get over his injuries before throwing him out there again?
Yeah, he's got too much talent and he's not making that much money that you have to throw him away. I mean, even if he got hurt this year, I'd consider bringing him back again. He's very talented. We'll see what happens. I don't think they're in that bad a shape if he gets hurt again. I think, the addition of Tony Brown, Josh Jackson's healthy now. Even those two guys they kept, Redmond and Sullivan, they're pretty deep in the secondary. So I expect, if King plays against the Bears, I expect it to be maybe just like as a dime guy. So he's only playing about 15, 20 snaps at the most.
Okay, something to keep an eye on as we approach the game on Thursday. We have a good question here from Wyatt. Because I would also like to know this as well. Mm-hmm. He wants to know, what is going on with Curtis Bolton? Packers waived him injured.
I would like to know that too.
Yeah, so do you have any sense of where he is, what the injury is? I don't even think we know that much.
So the way this works is nobody claimed him on waivers, so he reverts to the Packers injured reserve. There has to be some technical thing that I don't know about, and I'll try to do some calling around and figure it out. When I say technical, I mean procedural thing where they would do that. If they wanted to keep him on IR, why didn't they just put him on IR? Well, maybe, he's injured, so go ahead, put him on IR, and he's out for the rest of the year. What they did was they waived him, took him back to IR, and now they can negotiate a settlement, or they can keep him on IR till he's healthy. And we still don't know what the injury is. So I'm going to have to do some digging on this one. I honestly do not know what the situation is.
Yeah, it's a little interesting. I'm curious. Get back to us if you have anything, and we can update all of you.
Yeah, we'll have to keep digging and scratching on that one.
All right, let's see. Any news on Jay Sternberger? Alexander wants to know. Michael also says it's good to see Jay Sternberger back in action.
Except he wasn't today. He was out today.
So no.
He turned his ankle in that KC game, and it's starting to be a star-crossed rookie season for him. I mean, he just can't get on the field. So we'll see. But the fact he wasn't on the field, he's not playing this week.
No,
I wouldn't think.
Yeah, it's been an interesting season. Not even preseason for the tight end so far. Jimmy Graham had that pinky
and
injury.
He was out on the field today. So for the first time since he broke or dislocated or whatever, I watched him quite a bit. So he's got the fingers taped together. Star Trek.
It's these two. It's on his right hand.
Either that or he's a big Star Trek
Or
fan.
that.
And man, he caught the ball fine. I thought, for what we saw, he wasn't being defended. He looked like he was really looking the ball into his hands, to make sure. But I really question how he's going to be able to block. He's got to be able to grab. I don't know how you grab with two fingers on this side. So we'll see.
Well, he hurt his thumb last year, right?
Yeah, same thing. And he couldn't block. He was awful. I think Mercedes Lewis is going to play a lot, and I think Tanyan's going to play a lot in this game.
All right. Definitely more guys for you to keep your eye on, everybody. We'll take one more question. Let's see. We talked a little bit about Cole Madison. Michael wants to know if Cole Madison will be starting. No, I don't think he will be.
Nope.
But to me, I did not have Cole Madison on my roster.
I didn't
and
either.
I didn't even have him on the practice squad. So
wow.
Yeah, well, you know what? I did initially, and then I needed some help. I don't know. I went to Ryan. I was like, Ryan, I don't know how I'm feeling about certain things. And I told him I had Cole Madison on my practice squad, and he said, I'll just cut him. So I'm throwing Ryan under the bus a little bit.
Why didn't you come to me?
I should
know
have.
better.
In hindsight. I mean, he was sitting right there, so
Okay.
in my defense. But I cut Cole Madison.
Yeah,
So
I thought he was going to get cut as well. I figured he had this ankle injury and nobody was going to pick him up. He didn't look very good in a lot of the game tape, but they feel he's got a lot of potential. So I had someone tell me that the key with him is put him at one position. Don't move him around. Don't put him at center, then don't move him to guard and whatever. He needs to play in one spot. So we'll see if that's what they do with him.
Okay, one final thought. So Aaron Rodgers spoke to the media today, and he had an interesting soundbite. I put it up on PackersNews.com if you guys haven't seen it yet, so you can go reference what I'm talking about. But he had said, he was talking about the outcome, whatever the outcome will be of the Bears-Packers Week 1 matchup this week, and he said that the success of either team in the game will have nothing to do with meaningless preseason reps. And how much of that do you buy into, or how much of that is Aaron Rodgers just really not enjoying the concept of preseason in general and perhaps having an agenda there?
There's an agenda there. Now, I'm not going to go and say the Packers are going to lose the game because Aaron Rodgers didn't take any snaps. I think they could get off to a slow start because he hasn't played in that speed of the game, or he hasn't played with his guys at the speed of that game, of a live game. I just really, in a new offense, I thought you had to get him on the field one way or other, and I thought they should have done that in the first game. But will it, be the difference of whether they go to the playoffs or not? No. I'm just saying that it could affect in the very early going how cohesive and how well their machine is moving.
Okay, I was just curious, and I thought he was particularly strong.
Well, he's
about
sensitive about it because
Yeah.
he obviously didn't want to play. I mean, it's pretty clear he didn't want to play this preseason, and but he's sort of fighting back against those who think he should have, like me.
Sticking it to Spoon. Oh well. Well, anyway, it's up on PackersNews.com if you would like to see it. We've got a lot of other great stuff over on PackersNews.com as well. Darnell Savage Jr. changed his number. He went from 26 to 21. Ryan wrote a little bit about it. 21 Savage, if some of you are not familiar with the rapper, an homage to 21. So Ryan did a little bit of research, now knows who 21 Savage is. I tried to do my best to help.
Okay, good for you.
But yes, it was a hot topic today. Lots of other good stuff up on Packers News. So yeah, guys, thank you. We appreciate it. We'll be here at practice for the rest of the week. And then, of course, we'll be in Chicago on Thursday. Maybe we'll see some of you there. We'll be there bringing you all the latest. We'll be live before the game, after the game. So come hang with us. We always love to see you. All right, Spoon, final words, anything?
No, we'll have plenty more stuff in the next coming days. I've got my 1 through 53 ranking the roster will be on Thursday, and all of our season predictions.
Ooh.
So be sure you subscribe. Oh, we've got that Labor Day subscription sale going, and soon we will have a Packers News only subscription deal coming up, so
Yes.
Be sure you keep an eye out for that.
Yes, if you're not from the area and you don't really care to have the Milwaukee coverage or the Green Bay coverage, sort of the news side of things, then you can just get Packers News. How cool is that? Digitally,
Right.
Obviously, we're
Right.
not gonna rip the sports section out of the newspaper and send it to your house, unless you really want me to. I'm sure we could work out, and we probably can. I'm not going to promise that at all. Okay, anyway, guys, thank you. Have a great night. Have a great day. If you're somewhere outside of where our time zone is in the middle of the